following one of my previous videos where I talked about how to apply to Oxford, in this video I'm going to go more in depth into what the UCAS application looks like and generally how you can apply to a university in the UK. So first of all, what is UCAS? So UCAS is actually short for Universities and Colleges Admissions Service. It operates the admission process for all British universities, so it's actually an online platform that you can use that will help you with applying to the universities in the UK, and you have to use this platform. So when you submit an application through UCAS, you will have to pay them a fee of, I think, £25, and they will take care of the admin process of the application for you. So it's actually a really good software that you have to use instead of just applying to each and every university that you want to individually. And then to talk about the important deadlines, especially for the ones this year. So the application opened on the 18th of May 2021, and that is for the 2022 entry. So the system is already open, and from September 7, applicants can pay and send their applications to UCAS, unis and the colleges. So the unis and colleges can start making decisions on applications. So right now this process is ongoing, and there are a lot of different deadlines that you have to keep in mind after this as well. So the 15th of October is the deadline for all of the applications to get to UCAS for Oxford, Cambridge, a lot of medicine, dentistry and veterinary courses. So you really have to keep this in mind if you're applying for one of those courses or universities. So for example, with me myself, I applied to Oxford every time, and I had to submit my full application by the 15th of October. And it's really important that because it's a centralized system where you give them a list of 5 universities that you want to apply to, you have to make the decision of what 5 universities you want to apply to by this deadline. So it's not only an application for Oxford and Cambridge, but your whole application has to be sent in by the 15th of October. And then the 26th of January 2022 is when all of the applications will be closed. So essentially, this is the deadline for you if you're not planning on applying to Oxford, Cambridge, or to do medicine, veterinary courses, dentistry, or something similar to that. And then after you submitted your application, you are only waiting for all of the decisions to roll in, and then you can make your decision as well. So to quickly go through what kind of elements there are in the UCAS, first of all, there's the form itself, which contains a lot of admin stuff. So it would be, your birthday, your citizenship, and they give you a lot of different questions on your education as well. If you have any criminal offenses, that will get into the system as well. So there is a lot of stuff that you have to do, and you have to make sure that you actually set aside time to fill that in, because it is a massive system. You have to fill in a lot of different things, but at the same time, these things are something that you don't have to necessarily prepare for very long, because you know these already. It's just a matter of filling it in. But the second thing, which is really important for you to have, is a personal statement. Now, I'm going to make a video next week on the personal statement that I use for my Oxford applications, so make sure you subscribe for that. But I also have another video on general tips that you can use for your personal statement to make sure that you get an interview and ace the process. But very shortly, a personal statement is like a motivational letter of why you want to apply for the unis and why you want to study the course that you applied to. So I really recommend that you actually watch the other videos that talk about personal statements, and also make sure that you start in time, because this is something that is really important. A lot of universities will judge you based on that, and they will be able to invite you for interview based on whether your personal statement was good, if it stood out to them. The third thing that you need is a reference, so essentially a teacher's recommendation letter. This is something that you will usually not see. You will only be able to give them the name and the contact details for the person that you asked to do a reference for you. Now, this is usually a teacher of yours, but it's really important that you ask them first in person and then fill in their contact details later on, because it's very awkward if you don't ask them and then they don't want to do it for you, or they're forced to do it for you while they really don't want to do that. So make sure that you talk it through in person. You might even want to talk to them about, what kind of course you're applying to and what you want them to include in your reference letter, what kind of things would be great if they could talk about. But overall, it's something that you and your teacher have to decide, and you will not see the letter that they send to UCAS. And then lastly, the most important bit of your whole application process is the list of universities. You can choose up to 5 universities, and I think back then there was an option to pay more to be able to apply to more universities, but I'm not sure about that. But what I'm sure about is you can apply for 5 universities, and there are lots of different strategies that you can use to choose those 5 universities. The tip that I usually mention to a lot of people is you want to include 1 or 2 schools, which would be your absolute dream school. It would be something that you would be very happy if you got in. And then also include 2 to 3 schools, which are the realistic schools that you think you will be able to get in. And I also advise a lot of people that I mentor to actually put 1 school in there which they can go to if they are rejected from all of the other schools. So this would be a university that they are sure they can get accepted in, and then they don't have that pressure of, standing there at the end of the year and not having a single university that accepted them. Now that you sent your UCAS application in, what happens? So the thing that happens after application is you will be able to access a system called Track. And as the name says, it's a way of tracking your applications, and the universities can give you updates on that. So for example, if you've been invited to an interview, that will go into Track as well. If you've been offered something, that will go into Track. If you've been rejected, that also goes into Track. So make sure that you have access to the system, and then you will be able to check the status regularly to make sure that you know what's going on with the universities that you apply to. Now, while waiting for these decisions, the thing that you can do is actually get a few of the entry requirements out of the way. So for example, if you know that you don't have the language exam yet, you might want to go and take it. You might want to get preparation courses for it, so you're able to actually fulfill those entry requirements when the offers come in. Now, the different types of offers or status changes that can come in is actually a rejection, a conditional offer, and an unconditional offer. Well, a rejection is straightforward, means you're not accepted to the university. But a conditional offer means that there are still requirements for you to meet before that offer becomes formal. So for example, for me, I didn't have my high school diploma or the grade associated to that, so which would be equivalent to an A level in the UK system. I didn't have that at the time of application. And it's very similar to a lot of people who are applying to go straight into university without a gap year. So what happens is they will tell you you have to get 2 A's, 1 B, and something like that, or some other similar conditions, and that's why it's called a conditional offer, because it's conditional on you getting those results. Now, the unconditional offer, on the other hand, means that you're accepted to that university. So if you found that choice, that will mean that you will actually just go to that university. And then at this point, the only thing that you need to do really is just wait for these offers to come in. And then at the end, you can decide where you want to go and then firm that choice, meaning that you accept that offer. There is also a system called clearing. If you're not accepted to any other universities that you applied to, then you can go into clearing, which I'm not very familiar with, but it's basically another system where you can apply to all of the universities that still have places in the courses, and then I think you have to pay extra for that, and you actually have to go through a separate round of assessments, or actually a separate round of application. So I will link the UCAS websites down below because that will have the most updated version of all of these information, and it will actually contain the relevant links of where you can apply and all of that. So I hope that this video helped you to go through the application process and understand how you can apply to a university in the UK, what kind of deadlines you have, what you have to do, and then you will be able to successfully get into the universities and courses that you wish to. So make sure to like this video to show your support and subscribe for more videos on university applications, productivity, career, language learning, all of that. And check out these two videos also about university applications. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!